rapping and worry about myself, or I'm not finna sit up and make six figures while my people is out there being oppressed. You know what I'm saying? It take a lot of courage to get out there with your brethren, with your brothers, with your brethren, your brothers, and actually stand up for a nation of people within another nation being oppressed. And he tried to open up his Bible and say, God said don't preach on the streets like the hypocrites, and God said don't be in the synagogues doing your alms before men. I said, and God also said go out throughout the world and preach the gospel. God also said strengthen thy brethren when thou and convert them. And I know that they not out there being hypocrites, and I know they not out there because they just want to be, but they out there because it's a calling on their life to be out there. And I told them, I said, shit, we need more men like that that's going to go out there and stand up for us. So if I need to listen to them, I just do it with my headphones. Because I can't stand when them people come up to them boys trying to argue with them boys, and all they trying to do is point people to God. And it's the same God that saved my life. So anybody that's trying to do things in his name, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to encourage them and support them. I just don't like when certain Israelite congregations and brothers try to belittle black women. I understand we've been through a lot and we're not really always carrying ourselves the way that we supposed to, but I like the brotherhoods that still speak to us with respect, and also allow women to teach you a little something, because the Holy Spirit worked through all people. I ain't trying to be no preacher, but at the same time, sometimes we may have to give our testimony, and we need to be heard, you know what I'm saying, in the congregation about our testimony, because it was God who is the one who it bring fame to his name. You know, when all of our brothers and sisters, male and female, even children, can give our testimony amongst our brothers and sisters, that can also help with the word. You know what I'm saying? It can help more people believe on him, knowing what he did for us. And that's why I feel like the Israelite brothers should definitely take on my story and learn a little bit about my case. But I know my help probably gonna have to come from overseas, because a lot of them are just prophesying about the downfall of America and trying to save the same people out there that's trying to help these white folk kill my child. And I feel like, you know, y'all don't need to be trying to preach to their ass right now. They being wicked as hell. Y'all need to just be talking about this lawsuit and what we gonna do as far as what they did to my body. Because we got the evidence, and I should be able to get proper representation for me and my children. And I was telling him, one thing I was telling my man, I told him, I said, it's not that I wouldn't go to the hospital. I said, I want to gather enough people that'll go with me, and that know that I'm with child, and that done seen the evidence, and that knows that I'm pregnant, and it's like, hey, we'll go with her to the hospital if we off, because they like, she need a doctor. And if she ain't gonna go, then they getting mad at me for not going. But I'm like, because I know what they trying to do. So if enough of us go up there like, hell nah, y'all not finna turn her away again, and we like 50 deep, and we like, y'all gonna give her and that baby some medical care, and I'm not by myself, then maybe they will give us the medical care. Maybe then they'll see that we serious about this child. But until then, if I can't get my brothers and sisters to go with me, I ain't going. And it ain't just me and my man needs to go up there, because I'm pretty sure they think, oh, we can take him. And if he pop off and get arrested, then what? Who I'm going to have then? But if it's enough of us that go up there, then that's a movement. And it really shed more light on what they doing and how illegal it is. What they doing is criminal. And we all know how corrupt they can be. So I had a vision when I was in the jail of very important, high-powered black people finding out that I really am pregnant. And they was like, you need a doctor. You need a doctor. You can party and do all of that, but you need a doctor first. And they was excited. And black people was celebrating because I wasn't lying. I'm pregnant. And I'm this small. And I called my daddy on the phone because I don't talk to my daddy. And I used to talk to my daddy all the time. Every other day I used to talk to my daddy. And I called my daddy. And my sisters, they were so excited. And I said, Daddy, I just had a baby that can fit inside of a shoe. And it was alive. And the little baby was so small, it could fit inside of a grown man's shoe. And my daddy was like nothing surprised him at this point in America. I don't know if that'll ever come true. Because I done had a lot of dreams. I done had a lot of visions. I had another one where I was in the back seat. And I said, it's a miniature baby. And I had this little baby. And the baby was like, it was like, hold on. I can't even, like, the baby was like from this finger to that finger. It was like that big. And it was a whole baby. Like, it had hair. And it was just small. It wasn't deformed. It was a healthy little baby. It was just a miniature baby. It was just small. And I was in the back seat with the little baby. I had another vision. I gave birth to. This little baby came out and it had no umbilical cord. And it was small like that, but it looked a little longer. And I held it in my hand. I was like, well, I hope it's alive. And it started squirming and moving. And I hurried up and ran and called 911. And I gave the baby to my sister, my little sister. I had another vision that there was this baby in the car seat. And it was a normal sized baby. Now, this baby wasn't no little small one. And it was wrapped with some sort of special, look like paper all over the baby's skin, all over the baby's skin. Like it had been in the womb too long and the skin needed to be protected. Like they wrapped it. And it had a special little car seat because it was kind of small. And then these black women was trying to run up and fight me because I was telling the truth that I was pregnant. And I had the baby. But I don't care about America. I don't care about the world. I don't care about the earth. I don't care. If I only get my vindication in heaven's time, when it's time for the new heaven, the new earth, or when God judged this earth as far as the destruction of the wicked, that's fine with me. That's fine with me. Because I know they getting their little laugh and stuff right now. Like, oh, it ain't gonna come true. She ain't gonna have that baby. That baby gonna die. It might not. And that would be glorious. To be able to hold my child. And I had a vision of Mary when I was in the cell right before they let me out. And I was writing songs for Mary. Gospel songs. And I was in the cell where they was trying to say I was crazy. And they had me locked in there like I was a mental patient. And I was asleep. And these women came to me, this Hispanic woman and this black woman. They look familiar. And she said, yo, God blessed you with this business. She said, at first, we didn't believe you because of what they were saying about you. She said all over the internet. But I hadn't had anything on the internet. I was locked in the cell, so I didn't know what she was talking about. When I got out of the jail, I started looking all on Facebook to see if somebody had said anything about me while I was in the jail. I don't know what they was talking about. She said, but after looking at the evidence, she said, we find you not guilty. And then she said, and your God blessed you with this business because I love to do music. And they started me a company where I could write songs for people in the gospel industry. And I saw Mary, and I was helping them write gospel songs. And it was a whole room full of gospel people. I was teaching people songs, like a choir director or something. And there was a Chinese woman staring in the window because they was in the cell with me, where they had me trying to say I was a mental patient. And she said the women was in my cell with me, like we was having the court in the cell. And she said, they should have helped that baby. She said, now, after what they were saying about you on the internet, we didn't believe you. She was like, but after careful consideration, it was hundreds of days, like it was over a year. She said, after looking at the evidence, she said, we find you not guilty. They should have helped that baby. And then she said, your God, he blessed you. And I said, thank you on behalf of my children. God bless y'all from the highest heaven. And there was a Chinese lady looking through the window, because they had this little one window on the cell door that they keep the people in the segregated housing unit. And the Chinese lady was mad. She was like, ah. And there was people out there that was hoping that I would get the 100 years, or hope that I would die and be killed in there. And they was mad. And the Hispanic woman and the black woman was looking at her like, she not